Hey everyone, Wolver Monkey here. Been a bit since I did a vid. So I got a package of Happy in the mail the other day. So I thought we could do an unboxing. As some of you may or may not know, Osprey Games has just recently released another new miniatures game called Dracula's America. There's a North Star Military Miniatures in England. Provides or makes a lot of the official miniatures for those guys for Osprey Games, such as he does the Frostgrave minis, he does minis for now I'm brain farting, that space game I just fucking picked up. Yeah, so I don't pull a brain fart on that one. Anyway, North Star Military Miniatures makes a lot of exclusive miniatures for Osprey Games. So he runs these things called Nick Starters, where you can get the new rulebook and a starter faction of miniatures for a discounted price. You don't really get freebie stuff like you do on Kickstarter, but it does give you a discount and you get the shit right away. So that being said, I joined the Nick Starter for Dracula's America because it sounded really cool. Horror game is really, I think, fun, but there aren't very many of them out there, and there aren't very many good ones out there, shall we say, that don't really, I mean, it's like, here's a horror miniatures game, but yeah, they're monsters and stuff fighting each other, but it's just another miniatures game. You don't really get a horror feel to it. So anyway, I ordered got into the Nick Starter, so they gave me the rule book and one faction. The faction I picked were the Cultists, and off the top of my head I do not remember their name, but you get a cult leader, a possessed human, a big demon, and either 6 or 8 generic cowboy figures. So let's open this up and then we can talk about it some more. So as you can see, I ain't done shit with this. This actually came like last week or so, and just with work and everything, I haven't had a chance to open this up and share it with you guys. I did order some extra miniatures on the side for a second faction, although I got just the character figures, because it is the game does take place in the Wild West. Look at all these awesome peanuts. If I can get my other box over here. It takes place Wild West era, late 1800s, after the Civil War. The gist of it is Abraham Lincoln, President Lincoln, has been assassinated, but not by Mr. Booth. President Lincoln was assassinated by none other than Dracula. And after he assassinated the president, Drac took over the United States of America, which allowed all those things that go bump in the night to come out and play. So that's the gist of the story. So that's why there's cowboy figures and stuff. Alright, now I got all this shit out of the way. So this is what we got. Big base, probably for the big demon. Some green plastic bases, which I may or may not use. I have a tendency to like the wooden bases from Litco, but we'll think about that. Okay, here's a big bag of, looks like cowboys. I see some wings. And a dog. Looks like a dog. Don't remember if I ordered a dog. Don't know what the hell that is. Alright, we'll open this up and look at it in a second. And this is my other miniatures I ordered. The second faction I decided to buy was the vampire faction. But again, I just got the character figures for it and some extra figures that I thought might be helpful. So I'm going to open, we'll look at all those figures individually. So empty box, we'll get rid of that. Here's our rule book. Ta-da! Dracula's America. It's a hardback rule book, as you can see. It's not overly thick. From some of the reviews that I've seen or heard so far, it is a progressive warband skirmish type game, much like Frostgrave, where you start off with a small band with a leader, maybe one or two tougher guys, and then a bunch of scrubs. And as you play through a campaign, a bunch of missions that are linked together, your warband slowly gets better. You earn XP and loot and whatnot, and you can, some of the characters die and you can hire new ones, you can level up the ones you have, that kind of thing. As I don't get to play very often anymore, quite rarely actually now, more than likely, if and when I get a chance to play this, and I really hope I do get a chance to play it, I'll probably just be doing one-offs. So the whole progressive warband thing probably ain't going to happen for me. I won't be able to get enough games in. So it'll be a once in a great while kind of thing. But the premise really intrigued me, and the storyline really intrigued me, so I went ahead and threw in on it. So here's our rule book. Picture of Dracula at night. We'll page through this real quick, see what you guys get a look at it. Let's see, it's looking like 133 pages according to the what this says. So here's your rules. Oh, nice artwork. There are 5 factions for this, if I remember correctly. There's the core rules. It does have a uses multiple size dice. Your tough guys use a bigger die, medium guys use a medium die, scrubs uses a lower die. So that's just what I've been seeing. Obviously I just opened it, so I haven't read shit yet. That's just what I've seen on the internet. Man, it's got really great artwork, nice pictures. Osprey makes some really great looking rule books. Man, I totally cannot think of what the name of that space game. It was in my last video. It was from the loot, Origins loot one. Rogue Trader, that's it. Got it. Yeah, it was Rogue Trader is the other one I was thinking of. That's another progressive warband type game. Whereas you play Sasquatch. As you play, your party gets stronger and stronger. So this looks really awesome as far as the rule books go. I'm trying to get to the faction part where you guys can see the factions. So since I'm brain farting and can't remember, that's a cool cultist picture. Purchase, prospector, pugilist, scout, buying and selling. Flip through here a little faster, huh? Timeline. It's always cool. Let's see. Flying models. Unusual models. It's got angels in it. Swamp Baka, Temple Snake, Vengeful Shades, spells. Here we go. The factions. The Twilight Order. These are your good guys. They're kind of like the Templars. You can see this guy's still, although he's a cowboy, he still has the plate armor underneath it, underneath his clothes. So they're all about the Order of Good. I know they get seraphims and stuff. The Red Hand Coven, or the Vampire faction, which is what I bought the characters for. Because once I found out it uses generic thugs, I actually have some of the Chronoscope Western miniatures, so I was just going to use those as my generic thugs. But So I just got the character figures for the vampire. So we'll look at the figures in a minute. But so you got, what I say, the Twilight Order, the Red Hand Coven, the Skinwalker tribes, which is your Native American tribes, and then they got the lycanthropy thing going, weird bears, werewolves, that kind of stuff. The Crossroads cult, which is the one that I actually purchased, which is the demon worshippers, devil worshippers. Let's see. In fact, there's the possessed human right there. The Congregation, which is a voodoo faction. The Dark Confederacy, which is the Confederate Union from the Civil War. Even though this takes place after the Civil War, they deal with a necromancer, and you can actually have undead, risen Confederate soldiers as zombie soldiers on your side. Let's see. Another awesome picture of a vampire. So it looks like you could have unwelcome guests or extra monsters pop in, hired guns, supernatural gear, supernatural encounters. Here's your party sheets. I'll have to look to see if they offer these online. It'd be nice of them if they made this a free PDF, the roster sheets, so you can just download it instead of trying to photocopy it out of the back of a hardback book, which I always find to be a pain in the ass. Same thing with the QR sheets. So that was the rule book. I said I haven't read it yet because I just opened it, but I fully intend to. It looks really, really cool. So let's check out the minis, huh? And no way in hell did I get enough bases for all the miniatures. So these are the Crossroad Cults guy. If you're not familiar with North Star military figures, I will have a link for you. You can go check him out. He does mostly historical type stuff. I totally can't tell if this is in focus on the camera. Looks like it is. But there's a cowboy with a rifle. Let's see. Cowboy with a gun. Here's our possessed man. Another cowboy reaching for his piece. Another cowboy with a rifle. Cowboy with a pistol. This is our big ugly demon guy. There's his body. He's got 4 arms. Let's see, he's got wings. I'll have to figure out how those go on. Okay, he's got a post there. And it looks like okay, that's totally not it. Here we go. Here's his head. That's the demon's head. So there's his body, his wings, and his head. What do we got here? Another cowboy guy. Fancy cowboy guy with a top hat. Another cowboy guy. Looks like he's cracking his knuckles. Our head cult leader. It looks pretty fucking cool. Little demon looking guy with his, that's his tail. Either that or his asshole's really huge. But so there's a little demon guy. Him I don't remember. And this one, I finally figured out what it is. Based on this, it's a jackalope. He's got rabbit ears and horns. And I don't remember the jackalope being part of the deal either. So, but they did have a couple stretch goals. So I think this guy and the jackalope, the little demon guy and the jackalope, are part of the stretch goals. I'm going to go along with that. So we got the cult leader, the demon guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cowboys. So that's the one faction, the Crossroads cult faction. Get them out of the way. Bunch of shit. Here's the other ones that I ordered. Extra figures. Now these are going to include some of the vampire character figures and just extra figures that I ordered, because I thought they might be cool. So to go along with the cultists, I have a couple cultists. Actually, 3 cultist figures. Now, these are actually from In Her Majesty's Name, from that game, which is a Victorian era game. But a cult guy with a pistol is a cult guy with a pistol. We can just say he's Cowboy Days. There's not that much difference. They're in a robe. So I just got those as some more generic thugs instead of the cowboys. Let's see, vampire time. What do we have? Where's our vampire guys at? So I have a Nosferatu. I hope that comes out clear on the camera, because I can't really see it on the cam. He looks a lot like your typical Max Schreck Nosferatu. We got him. Let's see. This is, well, he's bent. I gotta fix that. Where's the other one? This guy? I guess so. These 2 guys are called Broodkin. They're also vampires. And then they got this guy, who's supposed to be they call him the Carpathian. So he's like a henchman for the vampires. So he's a step up from your regular thugs. For cowboys, I ordered these 2 guys in long coats. One with a pistol and one with a rifle, just because they looked really cool. They're part of some historical gang. I forgot which gang. I don't remember. I just thought they looked neat, so I grabbed them. So I have a couple cowboys to put with these guys. And then, as I said, I do have some chronoscope miniatures. So I got Miss Scarlet here with the rifle. I've had her for a while. I got this one, which is not Clint Eastwood from the spaghetti westerns. I've got this guy, a bandito. And I got this guy with a pistol and some rope. And so that's one of the Litco bases that I like so much. So more than likely all these guys are going to get mounted on these wooden bases, just because I like them so much. And then that way too they'll all match. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7 cowboys to go with the vampire faction, so that way my cultists have somebody to fight. And I happen to have this from Crucible Games, 2 Boogeymen, which I'll go ahead and open this up since their backs are to you and you can't fucking see them. When I saw the pictures in the advertisements for this of the Broodkin, they very much reminded me of these guys, so I happen to have some, but I thought they would make pretty cool looking Broodkin as well. He's got a knife and a cane, top hat and a coat, kind of Victorian England looking. And this guy, it's a pretty scary looking face, but same thing, he's got a big shiv and Victorian dress. He's got a little bag, probably to keep the victims' hearts in, because you know that's what you do, right? But anyway, I thought these guys would make some cool Broodkin also. I don't know how many you can have in your party. Like I said, I just got the rules. Man, that's a huge ass chunk of flash, isn't it? God damn. But anyway, I thought they would work pretty good too. One of the nice things with the Osprey Games titles is that it all uses generic miniatures. I think that's kind of cool. Then you can use whatever you want. So, but I figured I'd get at least the character figures from the vampire guys, and I can fill in the grunts with just generic cowboy miniatures, of which North Star has an abundance of, because I said they do mostly do historical miniatures for a variety of periods. Really nice miniatures, I must say, well detailed. So I will put a link to North Star miniatures in the description box. You guys can check this out, this game and some of the other games I said. And if you play any of the other Osprey miniature game rules, like I said, he does do all the stuff for Frostgrave. He does have some figures exclusively for God damn it, there goes that sci-fi game again. I just brain farted again. But he has the miniatures that you see in the sci-fi rulebook that I keep brain farting on. Those are the ones in the rulebook that you see a photo of that's all painted. Those are from North Star Miniatures. So he actually makes the character figures for those as well. So, alright guys, so that's what I have for the unboxing of Dracula's America. And it says I'm going to give it a read. Doesn't look like it's too overly involved in the rules as far as complexity goes. Everything's printed fairly large and easy to read. So I'm hoping that I can get through this and it'll all make sense. Rogue Stars. Why can't I remember that when I want to? Anyway, so this is their third game. I don't have Frostgrave. I was thinking about picking it up. I do have this one now. I have Rogue Stars, and I showed you the Broken Legions book also. So all their rules are very cleanly written. Great art. Pictures to describe stuff. So, alright guys, that's all I have for you this time. A simple unboxing of Dracula's America. Thanks for watching. See you later.